How much abuse can VG-10 steel take? Stick around and I'll report my findings. And we're back! Okay, welcome back to 5 Minute Knives, the channel that pees twice a night. Today, we're going to talk about my most used knife of all time. And as you can see, it is the Spyderco, which is the correct pronunciation, Delica. Spyderco Delica. So if you guys want to pick up this knife, type in Spyderco and then Delica, and it should pop up. This is the VG-10 steel OG Delica. And I honestly can't remember if I just sanded this clip down or I found one like that. I think I sanded it down. But here's the blade. Classic Spyderco leaf blade. And as you can see, mine's been kind of worn down quite a bit. Look at all the scratches on this guy. This thing's been worn down to basically a nub and reprofiled a bunch of times. I dyed the handle. I think this was orange in its old life. It's worn a couple of clips now. And basically, what I use this knife for is it's in the shop. So you guys know I make custom Kydex sheaths. So this knife is in use every time I need a knife for anything. And I just beat up on this one. I'm not gentle with it. I'm incredibly rough. The tip has kind of rounded off a bit. And I use this knife primarily to split apart my pancake sheaths, because you got to keep them together while you're working on them so they kind of like glue together with the heat. And you work on them, you drill out the eyelets, you do what you got to do, you rough sand the edges, and then you take this knife and you pop them apart. But other than that, I use this knife for anything that you would need a knife for in the shop. I've been using this guy for about 8 years now. Still cranking. VG-10 steel, you know. I forget how much they are. They were like 80 bucks back in the day, maybe a little less. You guys that are kind of steel snobs or whatever, these super steels are really cool, but because I'm paying so much for some of these knives, for example, my PM2 in MAGA chutney, right? This some bridge. Oh, and by the way, it's been having a problem. See, it's not like all the way open. That's weird. I had to put these handle scales back on. Long story. This knife's been giving me fits. But anyway, so this is MAGA chutney, right? And, you know, I've been cutting some stuff with this, but I keep it pretty light. I don't want to hurt this knife very badly. This knife, I go to town on this sucker. Anytime I have anything that needs a knife, I'm cranking on this sucker. Always a strong lockup. It's never failed me in any way, but yeah, just like incredibly filthy inside. This thing's been through quite a bit. I don't know if you're ever going to be able to see that, but just take my word for it. This thing is super dirty on the inside. And so there you go. So you got like 8 years of hard use out of a Spyderco Delica. It's still cranking. I'm still going to use it. I mean, however many more years I have in this, I don't know. But I thought this video could help out some people because these guys are often overlooked. They say the Delica is like the best of all the Spydercos for EDC, and they may be right. Speaking of EDC monsters, here's my PM2. I call it PM Dawn. And then here's the Delica and Durafor, which is my favorite EDC. And so you can kind of see the size comparison. And as far as weight, I think these guys are just silly light, if I'm not mistaken. This thing scares me now. It doesn't always open solid. It doesn't always lock up solid. See, right there was a good example. See? The compression lock's not grabbing it all the way, and it's pissing me off. Right there, it did it. So I got to be really careful with this one that I don't think it's all the way open. Go to start hard using it, and it's not. There it is right there. See? It didn't open all the way. Boom. There we go one more time. Didn't do it that time. It felt like it did. This PM2 kind of scares me now. It doesn't always lock up all the way, and I hate it. That one was kind of crappy, but it worked. Huh. Anyway. To be continued on that. As far as this little britch, let's find out how much this little bastard weighs. 2.3 ounces. So very, very lightweight. I mean, we're talking like a 2.5-inch blade, something like that. Very, very thin. And if I said G10 handles before, I meant FRN. These are FRN. Lightweight. Not centered anymore. So there you go. So there's my 8-year report on the Spyderco Delica, spelled with an R. Look that up. I don't know. Maybe this is the EDC GOAT. Super light. You can do anything with it. Legal everywhere. Comfy in the hand. Medium-sized mitts. Gets a good grip under. Nice jimping placed here right behind the shoulder of the Spidey hole. And VG-10 steel, although soft, easy to sharpen, has held up just fine. This edge needs a little work for sure, but it's a working knife. Shout out to my trades brothers. You know, we made that video about how our trades brothers will spend $30 on a pocket knife, beat the hell out of it for 2 years, and then buy another one. Whereas we will spend a few grand a year on knives. And some of them, you know, we don't want to cut that many things with because we don't want to injure the steel that may be extinct soon. MAGA chutney. Anyway, this is my most used knife. I had to think about it for a while, but it's actually the Delica, which is really, really funny. It's not a fixed blade, it's whatever. I use this all the freaking time and always have, and probably will continue to do so for many, many years. So there you go. As far as long-term durability, I've tested the hell out of this one. It's filthy, the action's all gritty, you know, but she works. She works well. She's done a fine job. I've gotten my money's worth. Actually would highly, highly recommend. So there you go. Let's bring in the subscribe starians. You guys keep the channel alive. I will make custom Kydex sheaths for you. That being said, my brother Nico is starting his own sheath shop. He is trained by me for the last few years, actually, off and on. But he used to help me in my old shop way back in the day. And his Kydex is very good, and it's coming along nicely. He's pumping out his first few batches now, getting ready to take on the public. And once he's ready, I'll let you guys know. You can keep sending your sheath inquiries into my website, 5minuteknives.com, and I will forward that message to my sheath maker. Members of Subscribe Star, I will make your sheath personally, and that's how we're going to move forward. So, what do you guys think? What do you think of the Delica? Do you guys have one? Who's got some Delica stories they can share in the comments about how old it is, how beat up it is? You know, what have you used yours for? What was the performance? You know, what do you think of this little guy? I think this is kind of like the unsung hero of the Spyderco lineup. Personally, is a good buy. Is me only buy. So yeah, highly recommend. Wanted to share with you guys. Just figured it was you know, like a whatever video to slap together so I can just kind of yap at you. But, you know, I think it's a good discussion to have. EDC little poop knives. Which ones lasted you the longest? Which ones have you beaten up the most? And which would you recommend? Let us know in the comments. Anyway, that's it for me, and I will see you guys next time right here on 5 Minute Knives.